Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and y'all see, this is why I don't like wearing any glasses while I'm filming or when I take pictures. So that's why I'm always taking them off. I am blind as a bat, but I'm just saying that's why y'all never see me wear my glasses, at least for like the whole time I record. Anyway, this is the recap review and all that good stuff of Insecure. And this was definitely a better episode than the last one, so let's go ahead and get into this. So yeah, it started out, I'm glad, quickly with what we came to see, which was Issa and Lawrence meeting up. So they met up at like this bar um, type setting or whatever. There's a lot of people there, really crowded. And as soon as Issa came in, she spotted Lawrence and they did their, kind of like, hey, to let you know that, okay, I'm over here. You don't have to keep looking around. And as soon as she started walking to try to greet and meet him or whatever, she slipped and fell straight on her face. Face first on the floor, y'all. And I'm talking about fell hard. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because at first I was going to read Lawrence, but I had to remember, like, okay, he knows how this heifer operates, so ain't no reason for me to even read. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, girl, you all right? And he came over there eventually after he got over the shock of how hard she fell. And he like squatted down and was like, you good? She was like, yeah, I'm good. He was like, you gonna need a minute? She was like, yeah. I mean, like, that's how well they know one another. So anyway, after she recovered, she went over and he'd ordered a drink for her. And he quickly found out that, some things changed about her. She's not into necessarily the same type of drinks that she's used to and all that other stuff. And yeah, that's just one of the small things that he found out. So they started talking and he was like, I heard about your block party and I saw it on social media. It seemed like it was amazing. And, how did it go? And she was like, yeah, it was. It was great. I loved it and everything went well and all this other stuff. And so then they were talking about, they just randomly started talking about all kinds of stuff. Eventually, he brought up Molly and she was like, yeah, we don't speak. And he's like looking like, what? So you could tell at this moment, this is where he's like, oh, okay, it makes sense how she greeted me when she and her man saw me when we were in LAX at the same time. Okay. Yeah, it all adds up now. So Lizzo's song, what is the name of that song? I don't want to say the wrong one, but it's the one that randomly blew up after 2-3 years of it already being out. I can't even think of it. It's I don't know, that song has started to beyond annoy me. I can't even think of the name of it no more. But I just had it. Y'all know what it is. Y'all already know what that song is. But Truth Hurts. I'm like, what is the name of the song? But yeah, that started playing and like people started going crazy when they heard it. They got really loud. Like they were really in the midst of trying to talk to one another. And even though they got loud and rowdy, they still were trying to overtalk so that they can, still communicate. So Lawrence is trying to talk to her and ask her questions about something. This dude come from out of nowhere being rude. This woman come from out of nowhere being rude and loud. I understand that they're at the bar and you want to drink and you didn't got hyped because of Lizzo's song that came on, but you ain't got to be all like that. You doing the most. Maybe they had a little bit too much in them. I don't know, but they was doing a lot. So anyway, it just got to the point where it was just too much going on. It was too loud. They weren't even in a club, to my understanding. I don't even think there was a club unless that's somewhat of a classier version of a club. I ain't ever seen a club environment, portrayed like that. and or even explained to me like that because I'm not a club person. A lot of people that I'm friends with have gone clubbing and that's just not for me. So I've not done that before. But it just got to the point where they were like, okay, it's too loud in here. We're going to go somewhere else. So as they were leaving, He was like, well, did you ever go to that spot that we always said we would go to? She lied and said that she didn't. It was some amazing eating spot, apparently. Some amazing eatery. And when they got there, she made it painfully obvious that she'd been there before, and his curiosity decided to perk up, and he was like, oh, so did you go on some dates or something? And then that's why you know about this spot? Like, did you have some dates here or something? And so she was like, oh, yeah, but it wasn't that deep. So, yeah. So, anyway, he's looking at the menu and he's like, man, everything looks amazing. And, it was just crazy. And when the waitress came, she ended up ordering for both of them because he was just like, I don't even know what to choose. Everything just looks good. And she was like, everything is good. But anyway, like I said, she ended up ordering everything, both of their food, the appetizers, the main course, and their drinks. And he was just like, oh, okay, I see how you gonna do this. Okay, I see what you're doing. Cool. And they talked a little bit more, and it's funny because on their way over there was this Lyft driver, and she kept trying to talk to them. Issa knows how the game goes because even though she's on a lower tier as far as the services that she renders, because I guess of the type of car that she drives, she is just like, either you're going to want to talk or you're not. And she prefers them to say, no, I don't want to talk. I'd rather have a quiet ride versus me talking to you. Well, the person that they ended up getting was a woman who wanted to talk, a whole lot older woman. And it was just to the point where Issa was making up lies, talking about, so yeah, we're from Alaska. And the woman could tell by, I guess, their body chemistry that they were actually together or whatever, or they've had some dealings, because this woman was under the impression that they were in a full-fledged relationship. And so she'd have lied to the woman talking about they're from Alaska. He looked at her like, what? But yeah, it was just a lie. And he actually spilled the beans about how he actually bought a ring. And so she looked and was like, what? The woman turned around and their face had like her flash, like camera light on, and was like, you need to propose to her then. Don't waste time. You need to propose to her now. I mean, she was just doing the most. So anyway, they got to the place, like I said, and they started talking after she'd ordered the food. And Condola actually was brought up in conversation and all of that earlier on before they left the other spot. And she, was like, well, I'm sorry to hear about y'all not, making it and all this other stuff. And, he was like, well, it's okay. It just is what it is. And we don't have to talk about that, is what she said, and all that good stuff. And anyway, currently this conversation, he was just like, because he would not spit it out as to why he wanted to meet up with her, because mind you, remember, he ended up getting a phone call back from her, or calling her after he got off the plane and was like, I want to meet up with you. And I'm glad that when they did the preview for this week, they showed that he was indeed talking to her, because I was like, I hope it's her, because ain't no reason for him to talk to Condola, because Condola don't want no marriage. She doesn't want to be married again, and he really wants marriage. So whatever, she don't want nothing. Like the woman says, she don't want nothing. But I'm gonna have my thoughts, which I think I'm gonna be right about at the end of this, as far as that is concerned. Well, something that should be obvious is concerned. But anyway, so he was just like, I wonder what would have happened had we actually stayed together. And it had even gotten to the point where he was like, can I ask you something? I just want to, be real. I want to ask you something and be transparent. Why Daniel? He basically wanted to know, why is it that she decided to sleep with Daniel? And y'all remember that she was working with him and all this stuff, and they had history. And it's like, of all people, you chose this person. And he was just conflicted and didn't understand why. And she just straight up told him, I mean, he came along. He just came along when he did, when you weren't giving me the attention that I needed. And he gave me that attention. That was really the only reason. And she said that it was hard to be in a relationship with him. And she kept trying to pull him out of the state that he was in after he found out that she cheated on him. And she really struggled for a whole year trying to continue to prove herself to him and, you know, get him to understand, like, I'm here, I'm trying to be with you, let's communicate. Like, you didn't want to communicate anymore, you didn't want to have sex anymore, you didn't want to go out and do things anymore as a couple, and he wasn't even working. Like, he wasn't doing nothing. And she was just like, you know, that's just what it was. It was nothing like, it just had to be this person. It was just the fact that he was giving me all of the attention that you weren't. And so he kind of felt some type of way, but I mean, I get both sides. So she was just like, you know, I felt like you didn't even want to be with me anymore. And he was like, I did want to be with you. It's just that I would wake up every morning, see you get up and go to work, and I just be at the house feeling like crap, like trash, like I'm a worthless human being because I'm not working. I'm not doing anything with my life. I actually thought about going home, but when that situation happened, as far as when he found out about her cheating on him, he felt like that was his way out. So that just ended up being luck in his favor and giving him the push that he needed in order to leave and be done with her. So, you know, and, you know, on top of the fact that he was just like, I don't want to move back home because I feel like everything would be worse if I moved back home, even though he would have had to start over just like he ended up doing anyway. So it just got to a point where after they'd gotten that out, cleared the air about that, she was just like, you know, well, did you really buy me an engagement ring? And he was like, well, yeah, you know, we actually gone ring shopping before and all this other stuff, so it's not hard to believe that I'd do that. So anyway, they'd had an amazing conversation. The food was amazing. And Issa, you know, you could tell that memories were flooding in, and she was just like, well, you know, I'm going to excuse myself. Go ahead and order me another one of my little drinks that I like, which is something, I think Prosecco with some tequila or something in it. I forgot, y'all. Some kind of drink that she liked, some drink mix. And she was like, I'll be back. So when she excused herself to go to the bathroom to freshen up or whatever she was going to do, get her life together, get her mind together after all of this stuff has been dumped on her, Condola ended up texting Lawrence saying, hey, I know we said that we would meet up on Tuesday, but is there any kind of way that we can meet up tonight? And so he responded to her and was like, well, I'm in the middle of something right now, but I'll hit you up when I'm done. So I was like, oh, that already had my spidey senses tingling, because I was just like, I think I know what this is about, but okay, I think I know. It's one of two things, or two things actually combined. And I'll say that what it is at the end of this video. Hopefully I won't forget. Y'all know I've done that before. I'll be like, I got something I'm going to say. And I end up not even saying it. And then somebody will come in the comment section to actually say what I was going to say. And I'm just like, dang it, that's what I was going to say. Or they will tell me that I didn't say it and then I'll have to say what it was. But anyway, y'all. So they were actually done and they left the restaurant. And they were outside the restaurant still having, you know, an amazing conversation with one another. It seems like it's still going well. And all of a sudden, old dude who worked at the airport, I forgot if he was TSA, security, both, whatever, he ended up rolling up. And he like made this noise like, or something like that. And she was just looking like, oh my God. I done been there before. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody, it ain't even had to do with no sexual encounter. It was just somebody that I did not care for, who was very annoying. It was just, I had the exact same reaction before to people. And it's like, Lord, why? Why? It is like in the most awkward and inconvenient moment. But yeah, old boy came from out of nowhere making this random noise. And she was like, oh my God, no. So she was like, oh, hey, trying to give him a high five. He was like, girl, you know me. And he kind of made her hug him. And he like kind of big. So it just kind of was going to happen. And I was like, oh my gosh. He had a date. The girl was cute. I was like, okay. And so Lawrence, being petty in this moment, he was like, oh, okay, hey, how you doing or whatever. They introduced themselves to one another. And so he was like, quick question, where do you know Issa from? Old boy said, oh man, yeah, we used to get it in. And I was like, no, why would you say that? Old girl even looked up and was like, what? What you mean y'all used to get? I would have just been like, I knew her for back in the day or something. Like, man, we used to be cool. I probably only would have revealed the fact that I've been security for an event or two that she held, which literally would have been factual information, because everybody did not need to know if they used to screw. I was just like, no, why are we doing this? So anyway, he was like, yeah, man, what y'all have? And they ended up saying what they ended up getting on the menu. And he was like, man, y'all loaded up. He was basically talking about they ended up doing the most in there. He was like, yeah, I'm about to go in there and do some damage too. And then he said that when they were done, they were going to go to this art situation, because her friend was having some kind of art thing, and there was gonna be like a media shower or something as well. So it was just gonna be like the perfect night that was going on. So I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm all into art, whether y'all know it or not. Like, I live for art. Like, at one point in time, I thought that I was gonna do something art related because I loved art so much. But anyway, so they were trying to figure out what they were going to do afterwards, even though Issa knew that, there was a situation with him and Condola and all that going on, and that they kind of still talk or whatever. But I don't think at this point she knew that just yet. But anyway, he was like, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and go on and head out, because she suggested going to this new section that had been like, added to the art area. And so he was like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Let me know how that goes. I got to be somewhere. He looked at his phone, he walked off, and I was like, is he really finna leave and go and meet up with Condola right now? He literally walked off, and she was just like, oh, okay. And then he ended up making that same noise the old boy made. And then you could tell he was being petty. I was just like, you are so petty. I cannot. So anyway, oh my gosh, they ended up going to the art walk, and it was pretty cool seeing what they saw. He ended up buying a painting, and she was talking about how she has been trying to kind of reinvent herself, and that she has created happiness for herself. And he is just like, I really love this side of you. I've never seen you like this before. I really like it. And so he was talking about, he's trying to, well, she was like, well, what about you? And so he was like, well, I thought that me doing things on my own would make me happy, but I had to learn that me working for other people and creating things for other people is what makes me happy. And so she was confused, because she was like, I really thought you said that you really wanted to do things on your own. And he was like, that didn't make me happy. So it is what I got to, it just is what I got to do. It is what it is. So anyway, Condola had texted and was like, well, what happened was Condola ended up calling, because later apparently it had gotten late. And she was just like, yeah, let me not even text no more. I'm going to call. And so he ignored the phone call. And Issa saw that it was Condola calling. And so she was like, well, you got to get that. And so he was like, nah. And so she was like, yeah, you and Condola. He was like, yeah, we're gonna talk or whatever. I don't know what it's gonna lead to or how it's gonna end up, but yeah, we're talking. And I was like, oh Lord, please don't do this. I think I already know what's gonna happen, y'all. I'm so tired. But anyway, they ended up leaving, and she ended up getting the lift this time, and they went to his house first. They actually live around the corner from one another. She found out that he literally lives up the street from her. Like, wherever he lives is like super close. And so she was like, what? You better not be trying to tell me that all this time you have lived up the street, that close to me. Like, for real, you live that close to me. And he was like, yeah. So anyway, they end up rolling up to his house first. I was like, why did they roll up to his house first? But okay. I don't know if they did that because she's the one paying, but I'm pretty sure they would have been able to handle that. But whatever. So they ended up rolling up at his house first, and he was just like, she was like, oh, I can't, like she was trying to kind of be silly when she was talking about the painting that he ended up purchasing, and was like, oh well, you should be able to hang this up, over your air mattress or something. And so he ended up telling the Lyft driver to give them a few minutes, give her like 5 minutes, because she was gonna come in and see the place. So she was looking like, what? Okay. Came in, she thought it was a dope spot, which it's not bad. And she was like, oh, you gave it a good place. You found a good place for it. They were gonna get rid of that couch because it, held too many memories and all this other stuff. And he ended up just keeping the couch. It was something that they had gotten together and they'd grown together with and all that other stuff. And so that was another moment full of memories. So she ended up excusing herself again to go to the bathroom. So this is when he took the opportunity to go outside and call Condola back. And he was like, yeah, I got hung up with some other stuff. I just got finished doing what I was going to do. I might be able to still link up with you or whatever. So then Issa had overheard this exchange, and you can tell that she is emotionally triggered a little bit by it. And she was like, yeah, Condola, right? And it just got to the point where he was trying to apologize, and she was like, no, it's okay. But she was being really, really new Issa, and was like, well, I don't want the night to end and all that. I really enjoyed myself. And he was like, this made me happy. And so she said, you make me happy. And he said, me too. And I hate when people say that, because all you had to say was, you make me happy too. But anyway, because I was just saying, when people say I love you, and then the other person says me too, it comes off as you're saying you love yourself, which is fine, but that's not what they mean. And you know what I'm saying, y'all. I have moments and stuff like that. It's just, but anyway, y'all, they ended up screwing, and the morning after happened, and she did somewhat of a walk of shame. I was like, oh, she had a whole extra pair of clothes in that small bag or something, or did he just have random clothes over there somehow? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, she randomly had some clothes, and I don't know where they came from. They fit her perfectly, and they are apparently stuff that she would wear, unless Condola left some stuff over there. I don't know. It didn't make no sense as far as that was concerned. But yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go now. And he was like, oh, you want me to take you home? And she was like, nah, I can walk. And so he was like, are you sure? I don't have a problem taking you home. And she was like, no, I'm good. And she told him to have a nice day. And she walked and walked and walked. And we were just left seeing her walking to her final destination. And she gave like a final little smile. But my interpretation of what is going to be spoken whenever Lawrence and Condola finally do speak is that she's going to say that she is pregnant, and her being, if nothing else, I feel like she's gonna say she's pregnant. The other thing I feel like is gonna happen is that she might realize that Lawrence is a great catch, a great dude, and she don't want to miss out on that. And she's gonna try to get back with him, but some things that already got reignited with Issa, so that might be a situation that's not gonna happen. But Issa and him might get back together, but a baby might be involved, so it's gonna be messy. But they might end up just dealing with it and seeing where it goes. I don't know. But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section if y'all think that's what's gonna happen too, or what else y'all think that Condola is actually gonna want to talk to him about. Because I feel like those are the only two things that's gonna pop up. But anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later on for something else.